Alright, so I had a request to do an unusual video. It's a general tutorial, kind of a basic one for the Emblem creator. Now right here you can see a lot of the stuff I've put together. And this is mostly pretty basic, but I'm going to go ahead and show some things that people were curious about. We're going to start with basic stuff like this and the gradients, and how they work, and move on to grouping. That's pretty much the only two things I'm going to cover in depth here. But I feel like it's worth mentioning. And you can see this happen here on the vertical and horizontal lines, and along with the HG for Mercury in this. That's also done with gradients and overlapping. Now, if you're familiar or you've played around with this a lot, it's probably pretty easy to see what's going on, but just so we got a basic understanding of this, this is all you have to do for the letters. We'll start with this. Gradient. Shows many here, but basically all you do, duplication, no, there you go. And if you want a darker top, there's two ways to do this, but this is one. Let's go down here and find a line like that. Now this isn't very efficient to do this, to be perfectly fair. You can do this different ways. But that's the general gist of it. Now you can do this the other way, which is the way I prefer it. And all that is color. Again, same principle. Not difficult. And sometimes the better gradient can fix that problem as well. So if you have one you're not happy with, it might be time to move over to one of these. Do down dark, this back to light. Let's go find the Now, to do that, to get results similar to that, this is generally what you've done. This required only one. You can see here's the separate, here's the others, and it's just the same other gradient. Not overly complicated, but lets you put depth in your letters and create more interesting ways. It also allows things such as the banner at the bottom to be pretty basic, but still functional. See? Same thing. Gradient, split in the middle, line on the sides. Gives you a little bit of 3D motion. Now, some of the more interesting stuff you can do is the masking system. We're going to go through that here because it's how I made the red gun emblems. Let's use the red ones. Okay. So these are all masked differently. Now, what that generally means is you can delete things. Essentially, you can turn a shape into a negative. And I'm going to go ahead and make another just to show this. Basic square within the square. Your first mask creates a zone in which you can place other things. And once you place things on top of it, you can continue around that zone. Doesn't matter, it can be inside or out, right? Anything below that, on the other hand, will only be in that particular zone. And this is important because this leads into our next feature. Let's see. You can hit R1, it allows you to group items like this. Well, if you're going to use the items and want to make a complex emblem, this is how you're going to do it. Because if you leave these the way they are, you get a lot of complicated, weird stuff going on that you can't really change. But let's say you want to make an emblem that's just got this as its basic background. If you need to mask anything else and you try, you're going to mess this up. So let's go grab another shape, put it up here. And no doubt, if you've messed around with this for any length of time, you know where the problem is here. But if you're curious as to how to fix this, the fix is pretty simple. Group, 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 group. Create. Now that you have that, this should... Yeah, sure. Let's see. There's our basic mask. Should group into here. Now, you can do other things with this too, but you have to... Let's see. You have to make sure that it is grouped properly as well, so let's get this out there. Get this guy up here, so we have a place to edit. Let's place a basic thing on it. Okay, now if you just group these as they are, you get the same thing, and this is not going to interfere. The colors are going to clash a little bit weirdly, but you're not getting any bleed through if you see them. Even if you do this. But if you want something to do that, let's go ahead and get that out there. Now, let's assume we want the star to bleed through. It should be the second mask. Create a group. Move layer up. Bam. More complex emblem now. Now this is what I was talking about, making it look weird. So when you ungroup something, it's going to make it not make a whole lot of sense. So what we want to do is take the background color, slap that over a little bit. Let's make that blue actually. Green or something. There we go, that'll work. So now you can see it much better. And boop, 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 done. And you can continually do this throughout the entire image. And you just stack things as you need. That is how you make things like this. These groups, for example, if you ungroup one of these, I think this is the one on the right. That's the right thing, ungroup. You can see the effect it has as it, we'll just back this out. So you can see now that the one side is transparent all the way through and you can't see the rings behind it. The other one is grouped, so it's held together, the layers are the same. And because of that, you can create the image more accurately than what you want, depending on it. You can always have these one way or the other. There's other tricks too, such as this. This is more gradient work than anything else, though. And if you group stuff like this, sometimes it gets weird. Just go ahead and shut that off. Case in point. An example of when the group does nothing but hurt the image. It also makes creating emblems like this easy, because you can group an entire section. Let's go ahead and use this as an example. So all of these otherwise would be very annoying to move all by themselves. Can be grouped, and the whole thing can be moved. Now, if you didn't know about this, congratulations. If you did, I'm sorry. But that's kind of what you have. And it's not honestly that much more complicated. That's about it for the groupings and other things, and then you can go on and create things like this, where a lot of things are grouped, that are convenience. But as you can see, watch the changes. It tears down that middle on purpose, see? Make it a little easier to see through, which is the point of that. And you can have complex ones, such as this, which have to be stacked in a certain order. Now that said, this is the other thing I want to go over before I'm done with the video. The stacking matters. So if you place this up here, because it eats through the other images below it, you're not going to get that cover you get like this. Even the illusion of it being bleeding through on the back. Same goes for stuff like this. If you start putting stacks in the wrong place, you get the idea. This last group, we'll go over it too. And again, it's more of the simple things. You make it work the way you want to. You put what you need here. This is just dressing on the back. Let's move that out so you can see a little better. There you go. See? Same stuff. And this is just manually stated and placed, adjusting each piece to fit where it needs to go. Got some nice background image. I believe that, yeah, the transparency on here is good. It's 26%. That's what it looks like at 100, so pick a thing, run it down. Not too crazy. Just discard. And I don't even remember what the back one is. That's the black background. Silly. Also, doesn't matter what order you check them off. You just create. This was my previous emblem. This is the one I run now. That's what I got, guys. And it's a video that I don't think is going to be super important, but it's a bonus video anyway. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's not going to be a big editing thing. I'll catch you later. Take it easy.